Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how some websites and apps look on the iPad Air 2020. This is the iPad 4 versus the Samsung Tab S7. This is the 11-inch tablet, this is the 10.9-inch tablet. So the main difference here is actually the aspect ratio. So for the iPad Air, it uses 4:3 aspect ratio, whereas on the Tab S7 it uses 16:10. So this aspect ratio is wider, and later on you'll see that it actually affects how some websites look. Okay, so let's just load some websites. I'm just going to use Google Chrome so that I can use the same browser. Okay, so because this tablet is more vertical, I get to see a bit more content at the bottom. And for this particular website, it seems like the format is a bit different. So you can see here there are 3 lines for this title, but here there are 4 lines. Let's click and go in. And the layout here also a bit different. Here you can see 2 columns, and here it's just 1 single column. So how websites present their pages will depend, well, of course, on the website. So if I turn this into landscape orientation, you can see now there are 2 columns. And if I have this in landscape orientation, there are also 2 columns. Next, let's go to twitter.com. So for twitter.com, seems like the layout looks exactly the same. But now, since this is in landscape orientation, there is less vertical space. So on the iPad Air, we get to see more content, more vertical content, more stories. Yep, you can see this picture is cropped off. Let's see how it looks when the page is vertical. So when the page is vertical, it's pretty similar. You get to see a lot of content. Let's go to this page here. Okay, so again, because of the vertical orientation, we get to see more content. But you see here there are 4 lines at the last story, for the last story, and here there are just 3 lines for the title on the last story, which is not too bad. You still get to see like a lot of content. And here the size, like the size of the fonts, the text, the pictures, they are pretty similar on both. For this particular website, Guardian News, they tried to format the page to have this fixed width. So if you are actually browsing this website on a larger tablet, the width will be fixed, just that you get more white space on the side. So on the iPad Air, you can see there's a bit more white space on the left and on the right side. But other than that, these 2 web pages are very similar. This is the Instagram app. So the user interface here, it's larger. You can see the buttons here way larger, and here as well. The picture here is larger because this app actually fills the whole display, whereas you can see black bars on the left and on the right, because this is actually the Instagram phone app. This is the iOS app that is scaled up for the iPad. So this is not optimized for this iPad. Whereas the Instagram app on the Android tablet, on this Samsung tablet, it's actually optimized, it's reprogrammed for tablet. So it looks way better here. Yep. As for the features, you get the same features, just that the formatting it's better here. This is, I mean, it makes good use of all the space, whereas you get black bars on the left and on the right here. This is the Facebook Business Suite. It used to be called Facebook Page Manager, if I remember correctly. Anyway, the format, the presentation is similar to the Facebook app. So here I can see better use of space. The pictures, they fill up all the space and you can see a bit more content. Here you see empty space on the left and on the right side. Actually, you see more text here, less text here, but I can click to see more. So in this case, how much content you see will depend on how the app is designed. But it seems like this app is designed better for the Samsung tablet for Android because it makes good use of all the space. Yep, so here you can see the pictures, they are way larger. For the Twitter app, it seems like there is better use of space here. So you can see all the tweets and you can see some icons here for your controls. And when we turn this into landscape orientation, you see the icons, you see the tweets, and you see this extra column. On the Android tablet, on the Samsung tablet, you just see the tweets. Let's turn around. And again, it's basically the same thing except rotated. So very limited in terms of functionality compared to the Twitter app on the iPad. So in this case here, if I want to use Twitter on the Samsung tablet, I would actually just go to the website instead. And now let's say you want to edit some text document. This is Google Documents. So both tablets in portrait orientation and I can see a lot of content. The keyboard doesn't take up a lot of space. Now the main difference between these two on-screen keyboard is on the Samsung tablet, you get to see this number row, whereas on the iPad, it's just the letters, the alphabets without the number row. There is definitely more customization possible on an Android tablet. So if you don't like this keyboard, you can actually change another keyboard. If you don't like the number row, you can actually remove it. You can even scale the keyboard up or down to increase the size of the buttons. Whereas for the Apple on-screen keyboard, all the buttons here are fixed. But the good thing is the buttons here, they are sized very nicely for typing, whether in landscape or in portrait orientation. So now let's turn this horizontally. And the keyboard here is now taking a bit more space. It takes up like half the space of the display, whereas here it takes up less than half of the display. But again, you can actually make this keyboard larger or smaller. Now, when it comes to using both tablets for editing text in landscape orientation, the iPad would be slightly better because you get to see a bit more content because of the extra vertical space. I'm not sure if you can turn off the spell check here. If you can turn off the spell check, then you may be able to get like more canvas space for your content. That would be the main difference, basically the space taken up by the on-screen keyboard. Typing experience here with this keyboard, it's not as nice compared to this. I find the keys, the spacing for the keys here, they are spaced way better for typing compared to the keys here. Let's compare the video watching or movie watching experience. So the 4:3 aspect ratio creates this extra. So now let's talk about the movie or video watching experience. Because the iPad Air has a 4:3 aspect ratio, you're going to get thicker black bars at the top and bottom. The video size is actually quite similar. On the Samsung tablet, it's slightly bigger. Now when you're playing video, there's going to be audio. Audio quality on the Samsung tablet is better because there are 4-way speakers, whereas on the iPad Air, there are 4 sets of speaker grills, but the audio is only coming out from the bottom 2 speakers. So you're going to get a fuller sound with the Samsung Tab S7. Now in terms of resolution, clarity and sharpness, I can definitely see The text here, the visual quality, it's sharper because the resolution on this tablet, the Samsung Tab S7, it's 2560 by 1600, whereas on the iPad Air, it's 2360 by 1640. So this has more vertical resolution compared to this, but this has less horizontal resolution compared to this. This basically is a 1440p display. This is not a 1440p display, in which case when you want to play, if you go into YouTube, you can select 1440p, but this video is actually 1440p downscaled to whatever resolution this tablet is showing you right now. Whereas here, it's actually showing you 2560 by 1440 pixels. That's why the image here is sharper. And it is noticeable when you compare it side by side, and noticeable even if you don't compare it side by side. So you do get better movie and video watching experience on the Samsung tablet because there are smaller black bars, better audio quality, and better sharpness. If you're going to watch the videos with the tablets vertically like this, the video on the Samsung tablet will be slightly smaller. The colors of both LCD display, they look kind of similar. So the colors for both tablets really good, very vibrant. Let's minimize this. So you can see 6 thumbnails here. Here you can see almost 9 thumbnails. But other than that, the functional difference is very minor. Obviously, this is not a comprehensive comparison. So the main difference between these two tablets is the aspect ratio and the resolution. This is wider. This is a true 1440p display. Both displays, they look very sharp, just that if you want tablet more for media consumption like watching movies, videos, then the Samsung Tab S7 is going to be a better choice because of the aspect ratio, the resolution, and the pricing. The last time I saw this on Amazon, it was selling for US $500, whereas for the iPad Air, it's $599, and you only get 64 gigs of storage on this, whereas you get 128 gigs of storage on this with the S Pen included. So for me, this is the better deal. Alright, I hope this video is helpful. Thanks for watching. See you guys again. Bye.